The Galactic Council had existed for 17,000 cycles, governing over 400 species across 12 spiral arms. In all that time, they had never encountered a species quite like humanity. Bella stood on the bridge of the Defiant, her fingers dancing across holographic displays that would have seemed like magic to her ancestors. She was young for a captain, only 32 standard years, but humanity's rapid expansion had created opportunities for those bold enough to seize them. The viewport before her showed the swirling colors of hyperspace, a tunnel of distorted light that connected the Sol system to the frontier worlds. "Captain, we're receiving a priority transmission from Admiral Chen," her communications officer announced. "Put it through." The Admiral's weathered face materialized before her. "Captain Bella, change of orders. You're to rendezvous with the Corvan fleet at Station Epsilon 7. They've requested a demonstration." Bella's jaw tightened. The Corvan Empire, one of the Council's founding members, had been skeptical of humanity since first contact 3 years ago. They viewed humans as primitives, barely worthy of acknowledgement despite humanity's mastery of faster-than-light travel. "What kind of demonstration, sir?" "The kind where they learn why you don't test human engineering." Leo adjusted his neural interface, feeling the familiar tingle as his consciousness expanded into the ship systems. As the Defiant's chief engineer, he had an intimate relationship with every circuit, every power conduit, every quantum fluctuation in the ship's revolutionary drive system. "How's she looking?" Bella asked, stepping into engineering. Leo grinned, his dark eyes reflecting the pulsing blue light of the quantum core. "The Corvan are going to lose their minds when they see what we can do. Their ships are beautiful, elegant even, but they're stuck in conventional thinking. They can't imagine that chaos could be an advantage." He gestured to the core, a sphere of contained energy that seemed to defy physics itself. Every other species in the galaxy builds their ships around stability and predictability, perfect symmetry, perfect balance, but humans, we embrace the unpredictable. Bella nodded. She'd heard Leo's passionate speeches about human innovation before, but she never tired of them. While other species had evolved their technology over millennia, humans had rocketed from primitive combustion engines to faster-than-light travel in mere centuries. Desperation, creativity, and a willingness to try the impossible had been humanity's greatest weapons. "The Corvan commander is Warlord Kresh," Bella said quietly. "Intelligence says he's pushing for humanity to be denied full council membership. He thinks we're dangerous." "He's right," Leo replied with a dark smile. "We are." Station Epsilon 7 hung in space like a crystalline flower, its petals made of exotic metals that shimmered with their own internal light. Dozens of ships orbited the station, representing species from across the galaxy. But dominating the space around the station were the Corvan warships, sleek vessels that looked like they'd been grown rather than built, organic curves and perfect symmetry that spoke of millions of years of refined engineering. The Defiant looked crude by comparison. Its hull was angular, covered in what appeared to be random protrusions and asymmetrical designs. To the untrained eye, it looked like a ship built by committee, with no coherent vision. The Corvan fleet commanders had laughed when they first saw the schematics. They weren't laughing now. Warlord Kresh's massive form filled the viewscreen, his 4 arms crossed in a gesture of obvious disdain. The Corvan were an imposing species, 3 meters tall, with chitinous armor that had evolved over eons on a high-gravity world. "Captain Bella," his translator rendered his clicks and whistles into flat, emotionless words. "The Council has asked me to evaluate your vessel's capabilities. I have agreed, though I consider it a waste of time. Your species has been spacefaring for less than a century. What could you possibly teach civilizations that have sailed the stars since before your world cooled?" Bella kept her expression neutral. "Warlord Kresh, we appreciate the opportunity to demonstrate. What would you like to see?" "Combat maneuvers," precision. Show me that your vessel deserves to be called a warship." "Understood, Leo, are we ready?" From engineering, Leo's voice came through with barely contained excitement. "Oh, we're ready, Captain." What happened next would be discussed in tactical academies for generations. The Defiant moved, not in the graceful, predictable arcs that Corvan ships executed, those beautiful curves that could be calculated and countered. The human ship seemed to dance, moving in ways that violated every principle of conventional astrogation. It stuttered through space, appearing to teleport short distances as its quantum drive flickered between normal space and the quantum foam. It spun on axes that shouldn't exist, its asymmetrical design suddenly making perfect sense as each irregular protrusion served as an anchor point for reality-defying maneuvers. The Corvan targeting computers couldn't lock on. The ship's trajectory was literally unpredictable. Even the humans aboard didn't know exactly where they'd be a second later. Leo had built randomness into the navigation system itself, using quantum uncertainty as a feature rather than a bug. Then came the weapons test. The Defiant fired, not the precise, elegant beams of energy that galactic warfare had perfected. Instead, it launched what appeared to be crude kinetic projectiles. The Corvan shields easily stopped them. But those weren't the real weapons. Hidden within each projectile were microscopic drones, billions of them, each smaller than a grain of sand, each carrying a fragment of code. They bypassed the shields entirely, too small and numerous to stop. Within seconds, they had infiltrated the Corvan flagship systems, not to destroy, but to observe, to map, to understand. In a real battle, those drones could have shut down every system on the enemy ship. But today was just a demonstration. "Warlord Kresh," Bella said calmly, "we're uploading the tactical data from your flagship systems to your personal terminal. Everything from power distribution to crew rotations. We've had complete access for the past 30 seconds. The silence that followed was deafening. Finally, Kresh spoke, his translator unable to mask the tremor in his voice. "How?" Leo answered, his voice piped through to the Corvan ship. "Because you think like engineers who have perfected their craft over millions of years. You've optimized everything, eliminated every flaw, every vulnerability you could imagine. But we humans, we've only been doing this for a few decades. We still remember what it's like to improvise, to jury-rig, to make do with duct tape and prayers. We haven't forgotten that sometimes the best solution is the one nobody expects." Bella leaned forward. Humanity was warned that space was dangerous, that we weren't ready, that we should wait and learn from our elders. But we came anyway, bringing all our chaotic, messy, unpredictable creativity with us. Our ships are unique because we are unique. We don't think like you, we don't build like you, and we don't fight like you. She paused, letting her words sink in. "You wanted to test us, Warlord. Consider yourselves tested." The Corvan fleet began to withdraw, their perfect formations somehow less impressive than before. Kresh's final transmission was brief. "The Council will hear of this. Humanity has earned its place among the stars." As the Defiant turned toward home, Bella allowed herself a small smile. Humanity had been warned about many things. The galaxy was learning that warnings went both ways.